We are told that the first symbol here means male, and the second symbol means female, but in fact this is the alchemical symbol for iron, and this is the alchemical symbol for copper. And there is also a combined symbol, and this means iron copper. So I find this quite interesting because we're using symbols and we don't even know their real meaning. Yeah. And the second symbol I want to talk about is this. And it stands for caput mortuum. Some write it caput mortem, but the meaning is, it has a double meaning. It describes a color, or a dye. Some of you might know it's a reddish brownish dye, but the real translation is caput is the Latin word for head, and mortuum is of the dead, so it's the head of a dead. And I show you an example where it is used in everyday life, and yeah, interesting. I'll show you. Most of you will know that the alphabet can be coded with numbers from 1 to 9, so that each letter represents, or each number represents a letter. So that, for example, we get, for the 6 we get the F, the O, and the X, which makes up the Fox News, you probably know. And this is how Satanists, one way Satanists communicate. And I'll show you an advertise where those who don't know will just see a form of astonishment, oh, and those who know will see the invocation of Satan in the form of a 666. I'll just a second, I'll show you in a minute, and I'll show you another symbol. This is, well, it should be more in the middle, sorry for that. This is the symbol for the alchemical symbol for gold, and it is also the symbol for sun, and that's their false god, sun. They're sun worshipping, not the SON worshipping of the true God, but the worshipping of sun, the false rock, the false Satan. And that's why some institutions and some people also use this symbol with a circle and a dot in the middle. And I'll show you 2 examples also. You will probably know this sign, this symbol, and it's the logo of a certain company, Amazon company. But did you know that it is very close to the alchemical symbol? I'm not so good at drawing and holding the camera at the same time, sorry for that. And it's an alchemical symbol, and it stands for putrefaction. Did you know this? So I find this very interesting. And yeah, we're surrounded by symbols, by signs, by colors, whatever. And I'll give you another example. This is the so-called sharing symbol. Well, we use it on the internet for the expression of sharing, but it comes from the alchemical symbol of aqua vitae, and the translation from the Latin is water of life, but it's the false water of life, and it also stands for quicksilver. I give you. It's used for all kinds of purposes. Well, in the sky they're using it, and it mimics water, but it dries out. I've been talking about this before, and it's also used for medical purposes. For example, in the Ayurvedic system, they've been using quicksilver for thousands of years, but it is not a true water of life of Jesus Christ, the Messiah, but it is the false aqua vitae of the devil. The next symbol I show you is this. We're supposed to believe that it stands for male or letters, but I ask myself why it is has the same just looks like the apron of a Freemason, and I'll show you a picture. Well, it's usually it's in red, as far as I know, the apron, I mean, but it's the same shape, you know. And the next symbol is the delta, the triangle. I've already talked about these connections, and it is the alchemical symbol for fire, who is the lord of the fire, who's the chief master of hell. Well, of course, Satan is, the devil is. So, and the opposite sign is triangle upside down, and it stands for water. And when you combine these two signs, you get the hexagram, you know. I try to show you. Okay, that's the hexagram. Okay. This sign comes from the music language, Dalsenyo, and it means to play or to sing, from the first of the two signs to the second one. And I find it interesting, the similarity to these two alchemical symbols. And the first one means vitriol, and the second one means vitriol 2. In German we say Eisen-2-Sulfat, iron 2, and sulfat is the salt of sulfur. I don't know the English expression, I'm sorry for that. And vitriol 2 is copper, so copper sulfat, kupfer sulfat. And I show some pictures of these, and I find it interesting. They have different color, different forms, also with other metals, white and red, but vitriol, the first one and the second here, they are green and blue, and I find it interesting, the connection to the realm of the dead, green and blue. I don't know if there is a connection. And is this combination of the two vitriols, is this shown in this sign? Maybe, I don't know. I'm just showing you, I'm interested, I'm a searcher. And this sign is also from the music language. It's called forte, from Italian, loud or strong, but from the alchemical language it means to dissolve. Isn't that interesting? I mean, we are using symbols and signs and whatever, and we don't even know where they come from and what they mean. So to dissolve is, you know what the meaning is, and is there a connection to Daniel 2:43, to try to put the iron into the clay, to mix metals into our bodies? Yeah, and I think there is a strong indication that this connection exists. And well, I thank you for your interest, and see you next time. Well, we are told that alchemists were not successful because they only had very primitive means, small huts where they heated all kinds of metals and tried to transform one metal into another, less precious metals into precious metals like silver and gold, using like small fires and bellows and whatever. But I don't believe this, because I think we know we are not living on a globe, we are living on a flat earth, as we are told in the Bible and many other sources. And we know that volcanoes are fake, they're a hoax. And I believe that for achieving these alchemical processes, they just went underground, and to build up high temperatures and high pressures, they used underground facilities, and this is what we now see as volcanoes, what they call volcanoes. And maybe you have been to an iron forge, an iron mill before. I have, and I have experienced the enormous temperatures that are used there, up to 1900 degrees Celsius they use to produce iron from iron ore. And they use enormous pressures also to transform like an iron a glowing iron, a red hot iron block into sheet metals. And so, well, this is just a thought that I have, and maybe you don't agree, but you can just tell me what you're thinking about this theory. And I think alchemists were much more advanced and had a lot of knowledge, hidden knowledge, and lots of processes in all-day life are alchemical processes. When we look at the sky, when we look inside our bodies, they are called biochemical, but it's nothing else than alchemical processes transforming food and what we drink into the matter that is in our bodies, inside our bodies. So, well, this is just thinking and guessing. Thanks for watching.